Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, with the live second half reaction to the Raptors Wizards game. As you can see, it's 71-77, right? We got this set up, guys. What are your thoughts on this game so far?
It's a pretty fun game so far. We're seeing Scotty Barnes, maybe Magic Johnson, maybe Giannis Antetokounmpo. I won't name names, but he's looking pretty clean tonight. And Dragic is showing his value. I don't actually have the cough, but I joked on my words. But I do mean, for real, Dragic is showing his value. For those skeptical, for those wanting to trade him at the midseason deadline, if we're in playoff contention, Dragic is a valuable piece off the bench. That's a fact.
Yep. You got the official stats pulled up, Ryker? What are the stats looking like right now?
I had the official stats pulled up. I have them again. Dragic starting today. Obviously, Fred VanVleet not playing this one. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Not much of a facilitator. We knew that, though. We want him as a kind of a scorer off the bench. 4 for 5 from 3, 5 for 9 overall. So this is a guy he can create offense. He's a veteran. He's going to work well besides Malachi Flynn or Delano Banton, right? Whoever earns those minutes by playoff time, but he's been having an impressive game tonight. Josh, what are your takeaways so far?
Pretty much the same. It's nice to see Dragic have a nice night out there because since we've got him, he's been pretty quiet, but no Fred VanVleet, so that opens it up for him to go do his thing. I hope that with Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn, and even a little bit of Delano playing in at times this season, I hope he can still figure it out for us, but he's a veteran, so I'm confident he will. Either way, great to see a performance like this for him. And I'm loving this the front court pairing right now with Khem Birch and Scotty Barnes. They tend to play really well when they're handing each other off guys on the switches. Offensively, they've had a bit of chemistry. He wanted to go throw Khem a alley-oop earlier, which having your two bigs out there throwing alley-oops to each other, that's a luxury. Khem didn't finish, but goes to the line, shoots too. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Rook, but that's nothing new. It's a fun game so far.
Yeah.
I know
you saw the comment.
Somebody said, hold up, did you see the comment? So he said to Ryker, Jenfro, did Ryker join a boy band with that haircut? Funny enough, Josh said I'm looking like Justin Timberlake, the sexier Justin Timberlake.
Bringing sexy back.
I'll take those both as a compliment. Thank you very much. Just tighten it up a little bit. I was getting sick of the hair, you know?
Hey, Marcel Martin saying you got that interview haircut, Ryker. You got a few interviews coming up?
No, I've had a job and I'm secured. I've had that job for 2 years. Unlike some of the guys that are deep bench, that's why we're seeing Isaac Bonga start tonight. I hope you guys appreciate that segue.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the last preseason game? I believe it is. Guys are playing for their career this year.
So I'm trusting.
It is.
Isaac Bonga, Ishmael Wainwright, they're all in the chopping block. What do you expect to see for the remainder of this game, boys?
I'm hoping to see a good bit of Ishmael. I want to see Ishmael Wainwright. He knocked down a few shots early. Right now, we got Champagnie, Decker, Khem Birch, Malachi, and Svi all out there on the court. So, I don't know. From what we saw so far in this game, I'm liking Ishmael hitting a few shots, being confident with hoisting them up. Obviously, he can get boards and play some defense, but I don't know. That other sort of spot, Utah is confirmed to be on the roster at this point, but Bonga, Decker, all these guys, they're competing for those minutes. As he said, Bonga started. What are your guys' thoughts on sort of his performance starting off?
Bonga hasn't looked at like anything too special tonight, but I feel like his previous games have really been what's impressive about him when he's kind of had a little bit of sample size. He's tended to impress a lot. And, I do feel like if we gave Bonga a bigger role with the team, we wouldn't be too pleased. But if he is going to be a bottom of the roster guy, which if he makes a team, he will be, then it could work out. But I don't know. I tend to think if it came between him and Wainwright, I would want Wainwright as our front court player. And he's just such a better shooter. I think he's way more physical, even though he's not as long as Bonga is. That'd be my take on it. But Bonga's not bad. I think that the Raptors will give him a fair knock, and they did by starting him today.
Well, poor guy. Oh, geez. By the way, you can shop merch right now. We've had a bunch of orders on hoodies, sweaters. We got a hat there. So pop into the merchandise. What is it called? The online store. I think there's thumbnails underneath this video. Probably. I'm still getting a ton of comments about my haircut. Look like Eminem That one's
Okay.
not as flattering. I think he's an ugly guy, but listen, OG's goes to Bonga because this is his last opportunity really to make the roster, and
He's starting.
four personal fouls, Ben. That's why he's only taken 2 shots tonight, only 3 points. You've almost fouled yourself out of the game in 13 minutes of action. So that's tough. That's a tough look when you're trying to make the team. Obviously, none of us were super tuned into the first quarter, so maybe they were undeserved fouls, but you got to play. I mean, especially if you're coming in at that 3-4 position, you can't be fouling. That's where you're going to be playing down low on the help defense. Can't be giving up easy fouls. So he's playing his way out of the roster, boys.
I gotta ask too, someone who's kind of playing their way out of the spotlight, it feels like a little bit, but it's preseason, so no panic buttons being hit yet, is what's going on with Gary Trent. I'm happy to see him shooting the ball with no hesitation, and that's what we'll want from him long term. But are we worried by this weird start to preseason where he's been super inefficient? His defense has been a little suspect at times. Are we reading into this too much, or is this just preseason and he's having fun with it? What's the deal with him?
Gary Trent, I think he'll be fine. He's a shooter. He's a chucker. The big question I find with Trent is going to be whether or not he can actually produce off the bench. Because last season we saw him come in hot and firing when he had the opportunities to start and these sorts of things. But now with this roster of it, and Sam Decker just splashed a 3. I'll throw on the milky animation, the butter. Let's go.
Creamy.
But
You taste like butter.
Gary Trent, right? We know he can score in high volumes when he gets all the shots, but can he do it without, chucking these bad shots, right? Can he do it when he's coming off the bench and, getting starter minutes, but might have to do it in spots, right? That's the question we have with Trent, because I know Dragic is starting now, or at least he started in a few of the games that they played together, but I'm not sure who the starter was specifically tonight. But at some point, I think Scotty Barnes is going to be that guy, right? That's starting at the 2. So I don't know. That's
starting at the
sort of
2.
take, something you want to see popping off there. Ryker, you're smiling at some comments right now.
No, well, I am kind of smiling at the comments a little bit, but it's definitely the long-term play to put Scotty Barnes in the starting rotation. And if OG is a lock at 3, Siakam's a lock at 5. We all agree we don't want to play small ball. We don't want to put Siakam's lock at the 4. We don't want to put him at the 5. We don't want to play small ball. We brought in Precious. We re-signed Kem Birch specifically so we would not have a big man issue. Josh would still object to that and say we do still have a big man issue, but we all agree Pascal Siakam needs to stay out of that 5 spot. That means at best Scotty would come in at the 1 or the 2. And I like him at the 2. Like I said at the beginning, he's looking like Magic Johnson out there with his dimes, with his pull-up J's. He's doing a little bit of everything, and his defense looks unstoppable. He was guarding Bradley Beal all game long, and that's the second best scorer in the NBA last season. So it's very promising. Trent, unfortunately, we paid him pretty big money, and he might get phased out of the starting lineup. But hey, it is what it is. You got to put yourself in the position to, get the best out of your best players. And Scotty B will probably be that guy one day.
I guess I just find it weird, the idea of starting him at shooting guard when he's either playing, like, in my opinion, the point guard spot or the power forward spot. I guess you could put him really anywhere on the wings.
But there's some fire happening right now. Sam Decker is splashing 3s. Josh is still slacking, not picking up those sunglasses. By the time the regular season starts, bro, you gotta have one of those a pair of shades, a fresh pair of shades, because Sam Decker, if he's
I'll
gonna
get those for regular
threes
season.
like this, Malachi Flynn is splashing a few 3s. The Raptors
That's
deep
my guy.
bench, the bottom 4 seed Toronto Raptors deep bench, they are out here cooking the Washington Wizards, even though they're still down by 10, 9, 8, 8. I'm looking at different scoreboards and my math is getting messed up, but you love to see it.
I gotta go back to my old point here for 1 second. If it goes down the way we're thinking it goes down and we're just fully positionless in that starting lineup, you're gonna have like collectively $30 million coming off the bench within 2 players with Dragic and Gary Trent in terms of your AAV that year. That's a lot of money to force to come off your bench. Like, I don't know if that's gonna hurt confidence. I'm sure Dragic will be all right, but I worry about Gary Trent. I don't know. I'd almost rather push him through it and rather see Scotty develop off the bench. Scotty, he was a bench player at Florida State, right? This isn't new to him. He was a 6th man of the year in that division. I feel like keep him in that role for his rookie year, and it won't be that big of a deal.
Hey, listen, Scotty Barnes, he ain't no scrub. Gary Trent Jr., he ain't no scrub. So either way, you're getting a formidable two off the bench and in the starting unit. It's just what makes sense from development purposes. Where are you going to maximize the ability? I mean, you still want to win this season. We both agree postseason, different animal, but you want to get those regular season wins. You don't want to tank again. And if Gary Trent Jr. sucks off the bench, if he stinks off the bench, you're going to put him in the starting lineup. If he's chucking up all these duds, going 0 for 4, 0 for 5 from 3 as a starter, you're going to put him off the bench. I mean, that's just a fact, and that's just good coaching. If you can't get too locked up in contracts and experience, tenure in the NBA. He's not a big enough name yet to demand certain minutes, to demand certain spot. I know we just paid him like he is, but he's not that player yet. That's
fair. Those are all fair points for sure. I think Scotty's so comfortable as a sixth man that I wouldn't force it on him so early, but hey, he's hungry, and I think whatever we hand to him, he'll do well with. But I just worry about Gary. Gary's my main concern, where I'm like, I think there could be some fragility there if we make him come off the bench. Who knows? But I mean, when you're getting paid $18 million a year, you kind of need to just sack up and do your job. So I'm hoping both of them do that.
Yeah, regardless. And one thing too about this roster is we didn't think we'd have much scoring coming off the bench, but now assuming Trent is in the starting lineup, right? We have Dragic, we have Svi, who's impressing, we have Chris Boucher, who obviously was an absolute bucket, right? We have Utah, who's looked solid in preseason, obviously went down with the injury pretty early on, right? But then we have Birch, who was our starting center last season. Maybe it's probably not a big issue of scoring off the bench. So Scotty could come in and instead of inserting him in there in the starting lineup, he doesn't necessarily need that much more firepower in terms of scoring off the bench, because Scotty can facilitate with those bench guys rocking. We had Andre Lorin ask if we follow hockey. Well, we do have a member of the Leafs Digest here.
Andre.
Talk your stuff, bro.
You got to come over to the Leafs Digest, brother. We got all the NHL coverage you need. Yes, it's Toronto-centric, but you turn on TSN and it's Toronto-centric. Everyone talks about the Leafs, but we're giving you that exclusive coverage. Me, Zach Phillips, another member of the brand over there. We're killing it. We're going on the road to 1K subs, and once we get there, it's just going to be floodgates. So regular season opener tomorrow. Canadians, Leafs, don't miss it. We'll be doing the post game, maybe even a little bit of a live. Make sure to come check it out. We do watch hockey over here, and I'm going to get Ben and Ryker into it as well.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to join the bandwagon, but guys, ever since we've been watching, the flames got to come back on. Ryker, your eyes are going to burn. Josh's retinas are going to be ruined by this start of hockey season. You know, it's a bit too much happening. But Malachi Flynn, he had a tough start to preseason, didn't get that many opportunities, but has been splashing threes now. The Raptors up 90 or down 92-84, but they got the deep bench lineup out here, so we're just watching, supporting, you know?
There's a lot of Scotty Barnes slander, particularly to individuals in the comment section.
We have another 3. I didn't see who shot it.
Somebody's saying Scotty Barnes is being trash. His debut's been trash. He's only scored 10 points once in the preseason over 4 games. Well, guess what? He had 9 points one game, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Another game he had 10 points, 5 assists, 4 steals, 1 block. Sam Decker is playing like he wants to stay in the NBA, which I wouldn't mind seeing him around. Point being, Scotty Barnes, we thought we'd have to develop his offense. He comes in, he's putting in way more points than what we would expect from the man, in addition to playing a very complete all-around style of basketball where he's defending the best players, he's grabbing rebounds, and he's facilitating like the best of them in the NBA. No Scotty Barnes slander in this podcast.
That's true. Well, there will be certainly Freddie Gillespie slander because he was just dunked on by Montrezl Harrell. And guys, you brought up Sam Decker's trying to play. This guy has hit another 3. He has hit another 3 right now. This is too much. This is too much from Sam Decker. Is he shooting his way into a roster spot, guys?
I want him to.
How old is Sam Decker again? I want to say he's like 25, 26, probably actually a little bit older than that, if I had to guess, eh? I mean,
Was
that
he
dunk
on
he
that
had
Wisconsin team, Josh and Ben, with Frank Kaminsky and what's his name, Nigel something,
Nigel Hayes.
one
too?
other
Okay,
team.
I
Nigel
think he's
Hayes.
probably like 26, 27 then, because he was like what a multiple year college player. If I had to guess, maybe someone in the chat can let me know. But yeah, I think that his age might come into play here because he does look good right now, and I think he'll have a spot in the NBA. But we're gonna roll with our young guys. We got athleticism, we got shooting, and that dunk he had was surprisingly athletic actually, and we already know he can shoot the three ball, but I feel like the age is going to come in here, and that might be the reason he doesn't get a roster spot this year. But somewhere in the NBA, think he will.
Yeah, and guys, we got 100 viewers in this live watch along, but only 15 likes on this vid. Guys, I think it's time for a little like spike to happen. If you want to see Sam Dekker, Malachi Flynn go off in the fourth quarter, if you guys want to see that, slap a like onto this video. We'd greatly appreciate it. But Dekker, Sam. I think we can take two of Sam Dekker, Ishmael Wainwright, Isaac Bonga, Freddie Gillespie, and Reggie Perry. I think we can take two of those guys. I'm saying Ishmael and Dekker. I've been saying it. Bonga's trying. He's fighting for it. He started in this game. But the 3-point shooting from Dekker, the potential, I know he was trash last game, but... And Ishmael obviously, I've been high on completely, but the factor of Dekker potentially going off like he is tonight, being able to shoot that shot at his height, right? That's just a skill you want to keep on your roster.
6 minutes on the court, 13 points, 5 for 6 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3.
That's all you have to say.
The numbers are speaking for themselves.
That's all you have to say.
That's it.
I don't know. Okay, I wasn't fully certain how the eligibility for the roster was breaking down, but if we do have 2 spots for that range of guys you gave, yeah, maybe Dekker could end up on the roster. That's an interesting point. He's certainly playing great. And I got a comment on something I just saw in the chat. Someone's thrown out there that they have the Raptors money line to cash their parlay. That's Art Gutierrez. I didn't say anything yet, but at halftime, I hammered the Raptors when they were tied 58-58. They had like a 2.95 multiplier, if you guys know what that is. So I got money on this game too, Art. We're riding this one together, brother. So hoping the Raptors can pull it out.
Hey, that's it. That's a bit of foreshadowing what's to come as well. We're going to get Josh in the parlays, implementing that into the watch alongs. So just a little teaser for what's to come in the regular season. Also,
Guys,
speaking of that,
okay, continue.
Go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say, is this the last minutes we're seeing of Freddie Gillespie in an NBA court, at least this season?
Oh,
This could be something to savor.
so what happens? I feel like we should obviously know this, but hopefully one out of 3 of us does. If the players like Freddie Gillespie, I'm assuming he's not on a 2-way contract, don't hit those final roster spots, can they still get picked up by 905? Or yeah.
That's where I assume.
I thought he'd need to get bought out or waived.
What's that?
Because he's guaranteed. Like, he's guaranteed this year, is he not?
Who? Freddie Gillespie?
Yes. Yeah,
No.
isn't he?
Nope. Unguaranteed.
Oh, okay,
contract.
so it's just a 1 year that they gave him at the end of. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the Toronto Raptors, they got a little mountain to climb now in the second half. Down by 8, 99-91. The scoreboard's behind on here.
Well, the simple fact that we're getting
worse?
absolutely nailed by the Shaq and the Fool MVP, by Tragic Bronson himself, Kyle Kuzma. That's a tough pill to swallow. I think he's 21 points on this game, 7 for 10 from the field, playing really well.
Yeah.
Tough.
Kyle
Josh,
Kuzma,
you have him as your
I said
MIP.
it.
But do you know who also could win MIP? I'm saying Sam Dekker. I'm saying Sam Dekker could win MIP because he has hit another 3. It might have been a long 2. It might have been a long 2, but he is the fire. You guys see the glasses? You see the fire emojis, Ryker? What's going on right now, man?
So he's no other way to put it. He's playing like he wants to make the roster, and frankly, in this one game alone, certainly deserves it.
Yeah. He's closing
Sam
out
Decker's
on
ruining
shots.
my corneas.
He's blocking Bertans basically. You know, it's Sam Decker's night. We're living in He just got an and 1-3 right now. Sam Decker.
No way.
That's
You're about
milky.
10 seconds
That
ahead
is
of us on the
milky.
stream.
As
I'm
butter.
taking my glasses off till I see this.
I'm still waiting for that.
Man, this guy he's just cooking.
Boom.
This is too much, boys. This is too much. The fire,
Boom.
the glasses might have to stay
All
on.
right,
We might need
box score
Sam
check.
Decker
Box score
goggles for
check.
this.
Oh
You see
my
it yet, Josh?
God. Yeah, it just came on. I don't think that was really a foul much. I guess he landed pretty close to him, but either way, man, the guy's on fire. This is crazy.
Man, this is
All
what
right.
we
You
want
can't
Matt
miss.
Thomas to be. People are comparing Svi to Matt Thomas. No, Sam Decker is the 6'10" Matt Thomas, but better.
I think that's almost a better comparison. Like Svi has
He
just
missed the
so
free
much
throw.
more.
You missed the
He's got
free
way
throw,
more
but it's
game.
fine.
Oh, man.
Malachi Flynn comes in 96-99, guys. 7 minutes to go in this game.
8 minutes of action. 18 points. 4 for 4 from 3. 7 for 9 from the field. Instant offense. Microwave badge.
No, this is this. People weren't high on the Sam Decker, and honestly, after last game, I had my reservations in the small sample size. But that one shot that he hit against the Celtics in the last couple minutes, it kept the hope, the one strand of hope I had left, and then tonight solidified it. I want him on the roster. I want Ishmael. 7 minutes. I don't know if it's gonna change.
Remind everyone, including myself, that range of players right now that we're going to be picking two from.
Picking two from Freddie Gillespie, Ishmael Wainwright, Sam Decker, Isaac Bonga, and Reggie Perry.
What was the last one there? I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Reggie Perry.
Okay, yeah. Reggie Perry's toast. Yeah, man, you might be right. I think it might be Sam Decker at that point. To be honest, I thought competition was slightly thicker down there. No, out of those names, I would say it is Ishmael Wainwright. And then likely Sam Decker. And Bonga's been solid, but I feel like once you run him for a while, you get to temper your expectations on what we're really getting there. And Sam Decker's shooting upside you're seeing right now firsthand. It's wild.
People ask him where he's coming from. He went to Wisconsin, right? That's what Art Guterres says. Yes, he did. Wisconsin Badger. Same team as Frank the Tank Kaminsky, who I have no idea where he is in the NBA right now. I played a couple of seasons with the
Charlotte.
He was on that.
Oh, he's on the Suns. Yeah.
Right.
He's on the Suns.
He's a championship boy now.
Well,
and
Suns-
somebody
Suns-
said Decker's
Suns didn't win the
smooth.
chip, bro.
In my mind, they did, because as a
They're up
Raptors
too.
fan,
They're-
you cannot cheer for the Bucks. I completely erased it from my mind. I didn't want Giannis to be a champion. I wanted him to lose every year in Milwaukee and come to
Raptors.
Toronto. Exactly.
Delano with the swat. We need like a clamp animation, I feel like.
But somebody
we
said
definitely need a clamp animation.
Decker's smooth like butter. So on behalf of that, I request you play that animation.
Smooth like
Smooth.
butter, baby.
You're creamy.
Get that.
You taste like butter.
We need something for the fresh
Your
meat.
butter.
Josh, pick up some of that butter. Pick it up with that cup. Pick it up with the cup. You gotta scoop it. There we go. You gotta scoop.
You're creamy. You taste like butter.
And the
Decker, we
last
almost
thing
shot
that I was
over
going
2
to point
players.
out too. What's that?
Malachi Flynn, the Toronto Raptors. Guys, we are splashing stuff down right now. The butter.
Fourth quarter Flynn?
Fourth quarter Flynn is absolutely yoked right now.
Do not sleep on Flynn. They counted my boy out. They said he's a fringe player. This is the Crimson Flynn, Ben. Ryker, I don't know how me and Ben have been over this point a lot, but and you and I to a certain extent too. I don't think there's any chance on earth Delano Banton is coming in for this kid.
Who set up his three just then?
Who's making those passes, Josh?
I'll take the shooter. We got
They
enough,
both got on the box score there, Josh.
whatever. You know what? I guess it's unnecessary for me to bring up, but I'm a big Flynn guy, so I love seeing this right now. He's
L's
He's
in the
silencing
chat
the
for
haters.
the Delano Banton hate from Josh.
People are actually really supporting everything that Josh has said so far this podcast, which
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he has some plants. Maybe he has some people like throwing the good comments, the favorable comments planted in the
you guys caught
comment
me on my
section.
burners, man.
Working the burners.
Bunch of hype, man. Yeah, good job, Josh. Good comment.
I need the
Oh.
confidence. All right, I'm the new guy, so
Listen, it's all part of the banter. Paul Blunt, he's the master of the blunt to the point take. He is a member, so shout out to channel members. If you want to join, you can for a bunch of things. Check it out. He's saying Joshy Ice spitting facts. I don't know how you're feeling about that nickname, Joshy Ice.
Frozone.
man, they were calling me Frozone last live stream because I kept freezing up on the feed, and I watched it back later, and my face looked ridiculous on half those freezes. Man, it was a tough look, but we got through it.
Also, I just wanted to say a quick shout out to the Wizards for drafting Corey Kispert, who I was convinced the Raptors were going to take because he was just this lumbering, non-defensive.
Man, Decker
Who hit a
almost
shot?
hit the most wild three I've ever seen. Ooh, Freddie!
Right,
Freddie Gillespie with the swat. Will Freddie Gillespie make the roster after that block? As Malachi Flynn comes down and gets a scoop layup. You guys are waiting.
A lot of
You guys
action
are waiting.
happened. You're about 15.
I'm just looking for this crazy three. Was it Decker you said jacked it up, or Banton?
The crazy
Decker.
three, Decker.
Yeah, okay, that was gutsy. But honestly, nothing's a crazy three for this guy anymore. He's a sniper.
Man, Malachi Flynn just swatted is that Gafford? On the ground. Just popping down. Man.
All right. About to peep this. I guess the action's picking up. It is a 1-point game. Oh, maybe the Raptors have the lead at this point, but it's a very close game. About 4 minutes and 45 seconds left of action. So we might as well focus in. This could be another preseason classic, boys. I didn't like when I called one of them a classic, but
guys,
standing on
like
that.
Spike for a preseason classic tonight, guys. Like Spike for the classic. Man, Raptors. Freddie Gillespie's getting boards right now. Freddie Gillespie.
Yeah, with the offensive rebound.
He's trying his hustle. The Raptors got a timeout. They got a timeout cooking right now. You know, man, Kenneth Lau is saying crazy three. Decker 8 minutes, 18 points. I also want to give a shout out too on this pod. I was in Montreal and I was eating some Korean barbecue, having a feed, you know, and one of our servers, a couple of the servers there, Antonio, I believe, and I got the names written down, and Jason, real great service from the guys. I wanted to give a little shout out on the pod. They recognize things from the Raptors side. Just first time that's happened, that not in Newfoundland. So
no, recognized at Fred Van Vliet's.
That's true.
Shoe drop.
Alejandro, and Jason. Shout outs. Be cool if you guys are in here.
Then don't let all that fame go to your head, sir.
What can I say? I'm gonna get a fresh buzz like Ryker now and get the grill, the LaMelo Ball tattoos. It's culture. Show off that fade, bro. Get closer to the camera.
It's not much of a fade, though. I asked for a taper fade from 1 to 3, and she basically went all the way up and just trim faded it. And I might have to switch up my barbers now. I don't know if the gentle touch of a woman is just not like, if you need a man to be your barber, not in a sexist way, but there's some things that maybe just a man asks another man, and you know, you get that taper fade 1 to 3. And I don't know. I've had only good experience with her until today, the most important haircut of my life. So disappointment.
Yeah. I think it looks good, Ryker, but you're missing the Jordan
good
logo in the side of it.
The women hairdressers are represented. It looks good, Ryker. but people are saying, asking me where I went, and Sota Korean barbecue. That's where I went. Getting the free promo on the pods. Yeah. If anyone from Sota Korean barbecue is here, hit us in the comment section if you want to team up for a collab.
In the chat, congratulations, Ryker, for joining the military. Support the troops.
It's actually the army, Josh. You know,
Sorry,
it's this group.
My bad, Paul.
And I will interject to say, both males and females can cut hair at exceptional levels. I went to a barber shop. I'm
Life
treading
lesson,
on a
never let
fine
woman
line
be your
here.
barber from
My
LF.
point is, I went to a barber in Newfoundland, 19 something barber shop, Torbay Road, Newfoundland. Guy from Kenya, moved to Toronto, said it was a bit too busy, went to Newfoundland, started his own barber shop, said people in Newfoundland just don't know how to do fades, so he has to train them when he brings them in. I was skeptical. I said, I'm sure everybody knows how to do fades if you're cutting hair for a living, but this man, it was a 45-minute fade. All I did was shave the sides. Took 45 minutes. I've never been treated so well. Best fade of my life. So I'm biased towards, I don't know, the gentle touch of a man. That was the point that I was for hair.
Guys,
Man,
The
I still
gentle
go to sports
razor of a
clips.
man.
Like,
bias towards the gentle touch of a man.
should be
Put
the
that on
motto
a
for the
t-shirt.
shop.
Man,
All right, boys, we'll bring it back to the game. Somebody, please take me off the mic.
take you off the
I'm like on my stream right now. We're down by 1 point. It's 104, 103. What score are you guys seeing right now?
Ishmael Wainwright. All I see is Ishmael Wainwright hitting clutch threes for the Toronto Raptors. I don't know if you guys
Let's go.
are ready for this, Ryker. I know you're looking at the chats, making sure you're not canceled. But the
I don't know. I'm
glasses
fully
are on.
checked in. And what did he hit? A corner three like PJ Tucker. That's our player comp. Holding true.
Yeah, that's what you got. That's what we need. Ishmael Wainwright's
Yo.
out here just cooking. I think I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm locking it in. Do I still have to lock it in animations? I don't know. Maybe.
Man, Wainwright's looking good. That 3-pointer was not easy too. He didn't have really time to get his feet set. He just quickly stepped back off the pass and jacked it up. Like he's good. And he's done this at the professional level. So my confidence in him definitely high. And we got this we got an African culture on the team, right? Masai's always brought in guys with roots to Africa, whether it was Serge, Pascal, Precious, Bismack, a ton of guys. And now he also having played in Africa, I think it's going to help the team culture. It's cool stuff. I love how Masai picks his teams.
True. And
Will it be enough to crack the
gentle touch
roster?
of a man is trending in our chat right now.
Hey,
What is?
the gentle touch of a male barber. Listen, we're up 2. We should probably be up by more. I don't think there's lofty expectations for the Wizards. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys. What's the projected, end of the season ranking for the Washington Wizards? In your opinion, where are they landing in the East?
Expectations are low, but I think they could be all right. They have Beal, they have Kuzma, who's Josh's MIP, most improved player of the year prediction. They have Dinwiddie coming in, obviously. Scores a bit, but I think they're not going to be able to make the playoffs. They'll be a play-in team, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Wizards. I think that they're going to take a step back, but their team culture is taking a step forward. They're building for the future, and that trade with the Lakers brought in some guys who are going to help fill roles that they couldn't fill before. No Russell Westbrook, so you're not going to get carried to any victories anymore. But hey, I think that the Wizards will have a bright future, but not this season. They're finishing like 10th in the East or something.
Joe Simpson thinks they're going to be dead last in the conference. Well, listen, never count out the Cleveland Cavaliers to be down at the very bottom.
Orlando
the Pistons
Magic,
probably,
baby.
The Orlando Magic, probably the Pistons will be last in the East this year. That'd be my thought. Pistons or Magic?
I think
for
the
last
Cavs could be good.
15.
I'm sold on the Cavs being decent.
They got decimated in every preseason game, and they played Mobley, they played Jared Allen, they played Sexton, they played Garland, they played Rubio.
Mm.
Only the Raptors preseason games matter when they win. That's my take.
I would say the Magic, but are the Magic getting back Jonathan Isaac?
You're too high on Jonathan Isaac, Josh. You said this last season.
I don't know. I think Jonathan Isaac's like real good, like all NBA defense good and pretty solid scorer.
Well, we'll see what happens. Coming off a big ACL injury, it's sometimes tough to recover. Some people like Ben can jump back and basically not even miss a step. Some guys, it definitely affects their athleticism. Watanabe, is he on the
Freddie.
block, Ben?
Freddie Gillespie is getting clutch buckets right now, guys. Should we?
No, he's not.
Should we be throwing on the glasses for Freddie Gillespie at this point? We haven't had to put on the ice since we've really been on, but Freddie Gillespie, Ryker refuses to throw on the specs for Freddie because he's getting boards. He's playing defense. He's getting stuff right now. What's gonna happen?
Nothing. Absolutely
Watanabe,
nothing.
Watanabe. Where is he on? Is he in that mix?
He's guaranteed now. He's confirmed
guaranteed
on the roster.
Good man. Good man.
It's too late for Gillespie though. It's unfortunate. He's not going to play himself into a spot like Sam Decker did this game. There's no coming back from how bad that summer league was and then how bad the rest of this preseason's been. Freddie Gillespie, I think, just built up the culture of our team, the environment, and everything that came with his story. But Stunzo, I think he's an offensive liability, and I hate to say it because I do like Freddie Gillespie.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, but it's just, you got to respect the man for balling out right now.
100%. You tossed on the glasses. I mean, you guys did. I
did.
still need mine.
Is that not a foul? Okay.
One-handed board by
We got a
Wainwright.
tough game.
What's your score right now?
109-106. Toronto Raptors up a minute to go. This is exciting stuff happening right now. Freddie Gillespie with a defensive rebound. A tough one. A tough one for Gillespie. He is scraping and clawing to get his way back, to at least jump in the warmth of Raptors' hearts once again. We got a timeout. My heart can rest. Guys, is this a preseason classic right now?
It's shaping up to be a preseason classic. Get ready. Do not blink.
Man.
You're living as part of history.
We are watching history. It is what it is. But Shane 10 is saying Ish or Bonga. What are we all on Ish?
Oh,
I'm
Team
on
Ish. Yeah.
I don't think he's shown it though, but has he had a good game that stood out, or we're sold on Ishmael Wainwright because of his potential?
I feel like they haven't really played him too much up until these past couple games. Like Summer League, he had his touches, but I feel like it wasn't until these past two games where Nick Nurse really just gave him some leash and he's done unreal. And oddly enough, I think that's the same with Malachi. Like Malachi played a lot during preseason and then hasn't really played much until these final two games. So I don't know if Nick Nurse just wanted to finish strong or something, because coming into the season, I thought both Malachi and Wainwright were going to be debatably rotation players. And Wainwright's looking like he might actually, at Malachi for sure. Wainwright's looking probable at this point because he can shoot and play defense. There's always going to be room for the guys like that in the league.
Wainwright 5 rebounds, 3 assists tonight. 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. Playing remarkable defense, getting boards, all that sort of stuff. That's what it is, and that's why I got my phone up here for the box score. Not texting and live streaming, so people know.
Bonga deserves his respect though.
I also read a Kyrie Irving update, but I get distracted by these things. But the Raptors, there's 30 seconds left. Let's see if fourth quarter Flynn can cook up Neto. And he does. And he blows by him. And 1 for Malachi Flynn. He is out here playing ball tonight. He is out here cooking. It's looking good for Malachi Flynn. It seemed as if at the start of preseason he wasn't going to be that guy, wasn't going to be the backup point guard, wasn't getting those minutes, but Josh's prophecy lived through at least for the first 2 games of preseason. He did outplay LaMelo Ball last year in preseason, and Ryker and I were convinced he was Steph Curry. But he's definitely going to be the backup point guard coming into this year. Raptors up 112-106.
Yeah. My point was never that Banton is better than Flynn right now. My point is that it's close enough that I could see a scenario where Flynn plays himself out of the rotation by having consecutive poor performances. But provided he plays half of his potential, which is pretty high, I'll give Josh credit on that. His spot will stay the same. He will be that backup guy. And I won't be offended by that. Somebody does bring up a good point. Genfro, classic OG in the comment section. Champagny. Is that another guy we've missed who's on the chopping block?
No, he's a two-way. Him and David Johnson.
He's a two-way guy.
But
Champagny started real strong.
Poppy animation. Oh, I don't have it on this setup. I was hyping up the Champagny Poppy animation. I don't even have it over here.
Well, you know what? We'll have time to put in that animation because unfortunately, I think he's declined as preseason's gone on. He started off really hot, and he's one of the few players that I think step back a little bit.
Was his prime game one of preseason just from game one on?
He looked good in summer league too. Oh, you know what? This guy also averaged 18 and like 11 boards in a really like the top college division. I always blank on which division it was. I know both of you guys know, but he's a solid player. We get another undrafted gem, but it only makes sense that our undrafted gem's going to need to get it out of the G League because it's what we did with Pascal, Boucher, and Fred. So it follows the storyline of this team, but he'll be fine. Good guy to have on a two-way contract.
That's it. 10 rebounds again this game. We said, how on earth is a 6'5" guy going to come into the NBA and get 10 rebounds per game like he averaged in college? And he's done it. He has his hands all over the ball, and it would be nice to have a more active rebounder on a team that historically does nothing on the offensive glass. To have a presence like that would be nice. But again, the offense, you need to have more than just one facet to your game. Mm-hmm. So Champagne's probably not going to be a rotation guy this year.
Yeah, no, it's we'll see what happens though. Get the boards if you can splash the threes. It's looking good. Toronto Raptors are up 112-108. Ishmael Wainwright's at the free throw line. He misses the first free throw. Guys, is this second free throw going to determine whether or not he makes the roster?
Yes.
If it's in, what are you guys calling? Make or miss? Making the roster or in?
Make it. Icy.
He made it. He's going to make the roster. He's going to be in. It's confirmed now. The Messiah was just looking at that free throw.
Sources, trust me, bro.
Sources? Me. Well, guys, it's looking like we're dribbling it out. Sam Decker's getting the game ball right now. This ridiculous performance. Ryker, do you want to run through the box score to end this bad boy off before we get into the post-game reaction?
Yeah, I'll do a quick box score rundown. Scotty Barnes, another well-rounded performance tonight. 9 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 block, 44% from the field. Only one foul. I mean, that's a good game guarding Bradley Beal. Gary Trent Jr., pretty cold in this one. 1 for 7 from 3, putting up Fred VanVleet numbers in his absence. Little dig at FVV, but our man has to play better. That's just a fact. Goran Dragic played great tonight. Very efficient, 16 points. Love to see it. Precious Achiuwa, he impressed. 9 and 10. He's looking really good. I don't know if he's a lock for starter or not, but Isaac Bonga
efficient tonight, but definitely still played solid. And not his best preseason performance.
His IQ was good.
Yeah.
His IQ was good. Isaac Bonga unfortunately played himself off of the roster, picking up 4 fouls as a starter. Hate to see it. Malachi Flynn, fourth quarter Flynn, the Crimson Flynn, 22 points, 6 for 15 from the field. Had to put up shots to get those points, but had a great plus minus on this one. Really rallied the team, his lineup particularly. Josh, he's the big advocate for Flynn on this podcast, so he's grinning. He's got that spiteful grin on his face I could see over there. And I mean, that's it. Nobody hate to see it. Malachi Flynn. I cut out.
Your audio cut out?
For me, yep.
The audio's cut out from Ryker, but the Crimson Flynn, he's out here. Ryker just said it. 22 points. Balling out in this game, but we have an exciting post-game reaction coming. Josh, do you want to sound off on any hard takes before we end this live game reaction off?
Not really, but it's crazy to think that if Bonga had a really solid game today and Sam Decker was average or a little bit less than average, maybe it is like a weird decision and it comes down to maybe Bonga. Like, I'm happy it's Decker. I think he's the better player, but that's some food for thought there because that could have been a weird situation to be in. I think the Raptors have enough foresight to probably pick Decker regardless of how Bonga played tonight, but credits to Bonga. He had a good camp. I'm sure he'll find a spot somewhere.
Yeah. No, Bonga will definitely find his way in the league, whether it's the 905 or some other team. He's a big enough body. He'll get picked up somewhere, but he still might get picked up by the Raptors. We're just going off of one game, overreacting to preseason games as he got to do. right? You got to do that early in the season. Just wait till the actual season comes up, and then we have OG averaging 35 points after game 1. It'll be exciting times over at the Raptors Digest, but you guys are the best for making this far. Firstly, the fantasy basketball league for Raptors Digest. The draft is happening soon. It's likely happening this weekend, so we're gonna make a community post about it. But if you guys want to join in, if you're on your browser, you click join in the membership below. Join the Toronto Raptors, the Raptors Digest membership on the YouTube channel. You get cool emotes. I don't know if Paul Blunt, Marcel Martin. See, I see Paul Blunt currently there. If you want to flex those nice, those clean emotes, those emojis that we have in the chats, you get those. You get a cool leaf by your name, and you get all these extra perks. Cheap or deals all merch. If you want some Collins, you get some Collins. Ryker's flexing the merch right there with his audio cut out. But you obviously get to join the Raptors Digest Fantasy League if you get in that elite tier. So definitely join the channel member if you want to be a part of that. We're going to be, whoever's doing well, you're getting shout outs on the podcast. We're keeping up on the Fantasy League the entire year. As said below, you can get your merch down below. Sometimes it appears below the video, sometimes it doesn't, but it will definitely be in the description. So check that out. Paul Blunt is showing off those emojis right now. So definitely check that all out. But also check out the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok, all that cool stuff. Lots of fun stuff happening for the Raptors Digest. Live post-game coming on, in the next 10-15 minutes. So stay tuned. Guys, any last words on the Toronto Raptors? Big W against the Washington Wizards. Closing out the preseason on a high note.
Don't sleep on Flynn. He's a born winner, baby. I'm like LeVar Ball rooting on this kid.
Well, he already has a LeVar Ball in the Facebook groups. Ryker's audio is cut.
Yeah, exactly.
The Frozone name is, I guess it's not frozen, but we're happy with the win. I'll sound it off for Ryker. You guys are best for making this far. Cheers.
Peace.
Oh, and we don't have the outro on this. We don't have the outro segment, so it's just gonna be us awkwardly staring and